should I start a makerspace?
Who we are, what we do, why we're here.
Never ask an artist how to do something. Parkour!
This is not bolted to the floor.
The answer is yes.
That's the truth.
Tea spilt. Today, we are going to tell you how Michael and Brooke made a makerspace. Prepare yourself for a tale of wonder and intrigue. A tale of destiny.
Ooh.
This is the story of how Michael and Brooke opened a makerspace. I went to art school. I studied photography and large-scale metal sculpture. Stuff like the big sculptures that you find in parks. And then when I got done, it was really hard to make big things in my teeny tiny apartment. So I started making itty bitty jewelry. And then I also started painting glass. And then I got bored of painting glass, so I started making the glass. I moved into small-scale glass blowing using torches. And from there, even a little bit of furnace glass. And I sold it at craft shows all across the state. And I got really tired really fast. For real, I got it to the point where I was doing over 100 shows a year. And there's only 52 weekends in a year. And the only way to grow when you're doing craft shows is to do more craft shows. That was me and another full-time person out every weekend selling stuff at different shows in order to hit that. During the week, I'd be making the work, and then on the weekends, it was full-on selling, and sometimes we made money, sometimes I lost money. It was not fun. So I did the only thing I could think to do, and I opened a store. I would basically have a permanent craft show where I could go in, I could set it up however I wanted, and the customers would come to me. And it kind of worked. The positives and negatives of having a store, that's probably a topic for another day, but if anybody's interested, go ahead and leave in the comments and we can talk about that another time. But lots to talk about. You want the tea? I got it. So I did that for, how many years did I do that? 5?
I'm not really sure.
It was about 5? So I did the gallery thing for about 5 years, and it started off as me selling my own work there, and very quickly moved me away from making it and doing more like wholesale with other people that did making, because there just wasn't enough time in the day to merchandise the shelves, do the inventory, keep everything clean, handle all the customer service, and still have time to make enough stuff to put on the shelves. By the time I got to the end of it, I just ended up feeling like I had something that I was doing for everybody else that I didn't really get a lot out of for myself as far as feeling fulfilled goes. I got into all of this stuff because I wanted to make things, and I just wasn't making things anymore. And it was around then that we heard of this like makerspace thing. I thought, you know what if we just shut down, do a going out of business sale, and then take that and put everything into a makerspace, because there were no makerspaces in our immediate area. It just sounded really appealing to me. It got to the root of what I really actually want to do, which is make things, not because it's pretty or because someone will buy it, but because I just want to make it. Parkour! And Maker's Workshop was born.
So who the heck am I? I never really thought I'd be a professional maker or anything like that. In fact, in school, I was more of a math and science kind of kid. Specifically, I was actually all lined up to study chemistry and head down that career path when I realized that I really didn't want to be in a lab my whole life. In fact, I would probably hate it. When Michael was doing the gallery, he had a contract with a local summer camp to do glass and metalworking programs there. Just on a whim, I decided that I wanted to do that for the summer. So I wrote a curriculum and was a camp counselor for a year. And I didn't think much of it going into it, but I actually really loved it. A couple months later, I was in a marketing class and I put together a plan to scale the programs that I'd been running over the summer. Gosh, at the time too, STEM, Makerspace, that wasn't really a buzzword yet. I think I was really passionate about it because I couldn't help feel like I would have really liked having that type of curriculum when I was a kid. I never really resonated with art classes, but I was very creative, very artistic. I just like building things, not necessarily drawing pictures of things, if that makes sense. So that's when I started the education programs. Between Michael and myself, we had the skill set and the tools to offer a really comprehensive program that incorporated glass, metalworking, woodworking, electronics, some ceramics, all sorts of stuff. And I started with 3 schools where I wrote the curriculum and taught it all personally myself, but at this point, it's actually a really big part of what we do here at Makers Workshop. So at this point in time, I was doing the educational programs as my full-time job, and Michael had expressed interest in selling all the retail stuff and getting some CNC machines and starting this Makerspace thing.
Coming from a retail environment, it was a little bit of a scary prospect because it was such a big switch from what we were doing before. Instead of being product-based, the format was going to be membership based, and people would just pay a monthly fee to be part of the community, and they just show up and use all the tools when we're there.
And actually it seemed like a really natural pairing to me because the CNC machines seemed like they would make the back end of prepping all the things for the school programs a lot more efficient and make it possible for me to reach even more schools. And it could be a makerspace.
We sold all of the inventory that the store had built up over the years, and we bought a bunch of tools. We did a quick and dirty renovation on the space. We took this leap, and something really cool happened when we opened the doors. People showed up. No, literally, we just did a free Facebook event, and people showed up. It was really cool to see that there's other people that shared this concept of just wanting to make things.
So technically speaking, like Makers Workshop, obviously things have changed this past year, but Monday through Friday, well, Monday through Thursday, the Makerspace is ground zero for all the education programs. Then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday too, it's open for members as a Makerspace. And then we also do the YouTube content. That is what we do right now. Obviously,
what we do.
There's been a pandemic, so
so right now we are pretty much just doing YouTube content.
Yeah.
And we're doing like remote stuff with the Makerspace.
I had asked on Instagram if people had any specific questions about our backgrounds. I think we covered most of these in what we said, but if there's something that you'd still like to know, put in the comments. Or DM us on Instagram, whatever.
And we will respond.
There's a couple questions in here about like liability insurance, running a makerspace, like business logistics, which we might do in a separate.
Yeah, but that kind of feels like a totally separate video. So we can get into that another time.
Yeah, a lot of people asking if we let people use our makerspace.
When COVID improves.
Yeah, but like we have the makerspace, there's people in all the time.
Yeah, and
not
there's
right now.
People in a lot of the pre-COVID videos, you kind of see a lot of them in the background, and we film when they're around often.
Yeah. Actually, it was really hard to film when people were around at the beginning because we were both really awkward.
Yeah, but we got over it.
We did.
And now they feel awkward.